What's going on, traders? Welcome back to the channel. Ralphdatrader here, back with another video. Today's video is going to be a short video. I just want to go over two trades that happened on the NASDAQ on Monday and Tuesday. We are at the beginning of a new month, and on Monday and Tuesday offer some great opportunities for us to catch 50 to 100 points on each trading day. So I just want to go over these two trades, break them down to you guys, and just show you guys how you could have participated in getting some free cash on Monday and Tuesday. All right. So before we get started, like always, guys, Stacy like to hammer this into our heads. All right. Markets only do three things. Okay. Markets only do three things. They break out, they pull back, and they continue to trend. Okay. They break out, they fail, and they reverse, or they stay in a trading range. Okay, these are the only three things that markets do: breakout, pullback, continue to trend, breakout, fail, and reverse, or stay in a trading range. All right, so just keep it that simple. All right, don't overcomplicate it, guys. Just keep it this simple. All right, so now let's get into these two trades. Now, like I always tell you guys before every video, all right, what I show you guys in here is just the way that I see the market. Okay. I learned from Stacy Burke, took the information, I made it work for me. Okay. I do not do everything that he does, and you're not going to do everything that I do. Okay. Because we all see the market differently. But what we can do is take that information and make it work for us. And that's what I do. And that's what I try to help you guys with as well with these videos. Now, before we get into it, like I always tell you guys as well, the only two signal days that I like to look for are inside day signals and close and breakout signal days. Okay, those are the only two daily signals that I like to look for. You guys can use whatever daily signals you like to look for, but I'm just showing you guys on what it is that I do. Okay, so mines that I like to look for the daily signal is inside day and close and breakout. Those are the only two daily signals that I like to look for. And the setup that I like to look for, okay, it's either going to be the sell high A top setup, or it's either going to be the buy low V bottom setup. And I also like to look for the other variation, which is the dump coil pump setup, okay, or the um pump coil dump. Okay, those those are the ones that I like to look for. Okay, now you can look for whatever ones you want to look for. If you want to just look for one, whether it be the sell high A top setup, or the buy low V bottom setup, or the pump coil dump, or the dump coil pump. Okay, just master one of those. Just know that they're all the same. Just gotta reverse them. Okay, one's a buy low, one's a sell high setup, but they're all the same. Okay, now the levels. Okay, the levels are always the same, guys. Previous day's high, closing price, previous day's low, previous week's low, previous week's high, monthly highs, and monthly lows. Those are the only levels. And I also utilize the round numbers. And with the round numbers, I'm only looking at the 50s and the double zeros. Okay. 50s and the double zeros. Now, let's get into Monday's trade. Now, first thing I always like to look for is it, or I must have a daily signal. Okay. We get a daily signal on Friday. Okay. We get an inside daily signal on Friday. What is the inside day signal? Inside day signal is when a market closes inside of a previous day's high and a previous day's low without reaching either side. Okay. That is an inside day. All of the volume on that trading day stays inside of this high and this low. Okay. So we get the daily signal. We put the NASDAQ on our watch list. After that, do we have any major red news? We had major red news out at 10 a.m. on Monday. So we had some major red news out at 10 a.m. Now, before you come into your session, you should already know the setup that you're looking for. Okay. Is it pump coil dump coil pump, trap and ship, A top, B bottom? So you should already know how that market should be setting up. You should already know what it looks like. Okay. Now, as we get into the New York session, we have our daily signal. We have major red news out at 10 a.m. How does price behave in the session that you're trading? Okay, first hour, we can see that this market proceeds to push to the upside, putting in a higher high. Okay, putting in a higher high. 9:30 equity hours. All right, New York Stock Exchange open ups. They engulf. Okay, this engulfing candle. All right, this engulfing candle is the confirmation candle for me. All right, that is the confirmation candle for me. We get a sell high, a top setup on Monday. Okay. Now, some people might need it to breach the previous day's high. For me, I don't. Okay. That's just the way I see it. For me, I don't need it to breach the previous day's high. Okay. I have my daily signal, which was the inside day signal. Okay. Now I'm just looking for the setup. Is it going to be a pump coil dump, or is it going to be uh, a top trap and shift? And we get the 1, 2, 3 engulfing. All right. 10:45. I meant 9:45. You could have been in there, even though it's before the news. I'm not caring about that, okay? Because I know I can get at least 50 pimps, 50 points before the news. Now, if we want to finesse this and utilize the 5 minute entry criteria, okay? You want to use the 5 minute entry criteria, same thing, okay? 9:30, all right? 9:30, they give you the shooting star. Boom. Once again, they engulf it. The engulfing counter closes back inside of the 5 minute uh utilizing the 5 minute entry criteria. We get an engulfing candle closes back inside about 20 EMA. Boom. All right. 9:40, you in. All right, you in. And you could have been out before 10 a.m. All right, you had your 50 points before the news. Okay. Now if you wanted to wait until after 10 a.m., you can see they pull it back. All right, they give you another shooting star, followed by this engulfing, and boom. Once again, they just continue. All right. But for me, I'm in up here. Okay, like I said, we use even using the 15-minute time frame. All right, 9:45, I'm in. But you can utilizing the 5 minute time frame and utilizing the 5 minute entry criteria. You're in here at 9:40. Okay, so we had a market. They gave us a daily signal inside their daily signal. Okay, it pumped up, putting in a higher high, gave us the trap and shift on a Monday. Free cash Monday. All right. Now go back to the 15-minute time frame. All right. Now let's head into Tuesday. Okay. What do we get on a Tuesday? All right. Monday, once again, gave us a inside day daily signal. But as you guys can see that we have a double inside day. Okay, because we had an inside day on Friday. We had an inside day on Monday. So we have a double inside day signal coming into Tuesday. Now we had no major red news out on Tuesday. Okay, no major red news out on Tuesday. We got a double inside day, and on Tuesday, the market, what does Tuesday, Stacy says, they typically expands the range on a Tuesday. Now, if you look during the Asian session, we also get a signal on the day. All right, the market breaks out of the previous day's low. So not only do we have a double inside day, we also have a market that gave us a signal on the day. You can see that during the Asian session, heading all the way up into the London session, they expanded the range. Okay, they expanded the range during the London, the Asia London session. Okay. Now, if you're trading New York session, all right, what setup are you hunting? What setup have you mastered? Is it pump, coil, dump, coil, pump, trap and shift, A top, V bottom? Okay. Now, as you guys can see, we had from the Asian session, you had a market that dumped down, coming all the way into our London session. All right. Market is making lower lows and lower highs. They give this little pullback, still continue to make lower highs. Market coils. All right. New York Stock Exchange opens up at 9:30 with a strong pin hammer. All right, 9:45, you're in there. This one count is over 100 points. All right, so you had the dump, coil, pump. All right, had the dump, coil, pump. All right, for traders that was looking for the dump, coil, pump session trade, you in and out 100 points, 50 to 100 points. You should be good with that. All right, now if you wanted to wait into the 10 a.m. club, the 10 a.m. club, you got the pump, coil, dump opportunity. So on Tuesday, all right, Tuesday offered set up for buyers and set up for sellers. Okay. So now if we look at this on a 5 minute time frame, all right. So we know we have our double inside day, daily signal. All right. Friday gave an inside day, Monday gave an inside day. We also get a signal on the day. All right. During the Asian session, market breaks out of the previous day's low, continue to expand the range all the way down to our previous week's low level. As we get into our New York session, all right, we just wait patient. See, patient. If you patiently wait, you get paid. Okay. If you be patient, you get paid. Okay. So as our New York Stock Exchange opens up at 9:30, Now on the 5 minute time frame, you get equal lows. So this is a trap and shift. Okay, V bottom, trap and shift. Higher time frame, you get a dump, coil pump. All right, smaller time frame, you get the trap and shift. Boom, equal lows. And for me, because I've seen this set up so much at 9:40, I'm in. Okay, I'm in. I'm not even waiting until it closes back inside of the EMA. But if you're still not comfortable yet, wait until it closes back inside of the EMA. All right. And now once this candle closes back inside of the EMA, now just pay attention to the level that you're at. The level you're around is the 75 level. So I don't want to enter in too far up high. So I will wait until it pull back, see if it's going to pull back at least to the 50 and then get in around that 50 level because you want to the 75 and the double zero, you're up top. You want to sell from this area. Okay, you want to sell from 75. All right. So wait until it pulls back. Okay, wait until it pulls back. Then you take your entry. Wait until if you get a pullback at the 50, then you take that entry off of the 50. Okay. And then this, like I said, this offered you 150 to 100 points. Easy. All right, 50 to 100 points easy. So on a 15-minute time frame, it was a dump coil pump. All right, 5 minute time frame, you get the equal lows, it gives you the trap and shift. Now, like I said, it offered two setups. All right, so you got the pump, the coil, and the dump. All right, so you get the pump, coil, engulfing, taking out all these lows right here of these candles. All right, and boom, you could be in before price closes inside of the 5 minute uh the 20 EMA, okay? Because you got that in some golfing, you can enter in here. But if you're not comfortable yet, wait until it closes back inside of the 20 EMA. All right, then you have your entry. But on Tuesday, you had trade setups for buyers and you had trade setup for sellers. So depending on what setup you're hunting, it offered you your setup. Okay. So Monday and Tuesday was some great trading days on the Nasdaq. You guys, you had the daily signal, you had your setup, depending on what setup that you're hunting. But like I said, it offered um, setup for buyers and setup for sellers. All right, so depending on what you're looking for. All right, so as you guys can see, Tuesday offered a closing breakout. As you can see, they continue to expand that range even more coming into free cash Wednesday during the Asian session. This was over 200 points, but this, at 7 o'clock, around 7 p.m., but it was over 200 point drop right there. All right, so somebody was trading that. But, just wanted to recap these two trades with you guys, man. That's all I got. You know, like always, work hard, stay disciplined, be patient, and know that your time will come. Peace and love. Have a good one.